Alright, what's up guys? Pew Boys coming at you. Sunday, muggy, ugly,
raining.
But you know what?
Sunday gun day.
Sunday gun day takes precedence over everything else. Alright guys, so we're coming to you this Sunday afternoon. I know we mentioned on one of the last videos, I think it was the Saber Dagger video, we mentioned that we had a little surprise coming for you guys. We got that surprise for you guys. And we are going to surprise you guys in the sense where
the
Glock guy has officially been broken down and has accepted something that's not in the Glock realm, and that is 365 X macro with an Icarus frame. So guys, coming from a Glock guy, we're gonna put this thing through its paces. He's liked it enough where he's willing to keep an open mind, if you want to call it. So this is what we got.
Let's see if it'll put the
Glock
43 on the shelf.
Listen, man, I
don't know, man. So we shot a couple rounds off camera just to see where our sights were at, and they're on. It's a cheap Sealy.
Yeah, it's a cheap Sealy Optic for now until we get what we're gonna get on there. But
I want to run 1,000 rounds through it before I even decide to carry it. That's how usually I do all my guns before I decide to carry.
Yeah, you gotta vet it.
And yeah, and so when I feel comfortable enough to carry it, then I'll throw something a little bit more rugged, a little bit more dependable. Not the Sealy's bad. It's just I'm not. There's a what do you call that?
It's like a sunburst. It's
not sunburst. Not parallax. There's.
Oh, the fisheye. It's like a fisheye effect.
There's a little
on the corners.
I don't know the word, but whatever.
Focus.
Magnification. There's a slight magnification, and it throws me
you off.
You could tell because your picture wobbles inside the glass.
Okay.
So I'm not too cool with that, but for today's purposes of just shooting rounds through it and first impressions, we're gonna see.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, I already have a Sig in my repertoire. It's definitely not a 365. It's a 320. It's the X carry, so it's gonna have more or less the same trigger. Frame is a little bit slimmer on that than the 320, but the trigger is more or less the same.
So, first thing I noticed off camera when we were shooting just to get the sights on, that trigger is way more sensitive than my Glock 43, and even my Glock 43 that has 5,000 or so rounds to it is nice and slick, but this is way, you gotta be more careful. So that's another thing we gotta go through for carry. I don't like a super light trigger. This one's lighter for sure, and I gotta get used to it because my first couple rounds just getting it on target, I was off, and it's just because I'm not used to that lighter trigger pull.
Got it.
And so, but this frame, this is the whole reason why I bought this gun. Well, it's the trigger assembly, but with the slide, the macro, with the comp. This is what's the grip. So the grip doesn't come with the gun, obviously. You have to buy it separately. It's an extra $400 if you're thinking about it. But man, that grip is ridiculous.
And it's the Icarus Ace, right?
Ace,
okay.
Regular, because I think there's an Ace Evo and an Ace XL.
Okay.
I wanted this one because it just fits my hand perfectly. And we shot it with Nick in the last video. Yeah. And I fell in love with it. And so I
think we all did. Yeah. I think we all did.
I decided to go with the Sig. My first Sig. Sig doesn't have the
best
they had a moment there where they were having issues with the trigger going off and all that stuff. So that's another reason why we're here. That's why I never broke down and bought a Sig. I didn't care for that. Anytime a manufacturer has an issue,
you gotta wait for them to vet it out.
It's hard for me to carry something like that. So, but I fell in love with this gun when Nick showed it to us. So we're gonna shoot it today and see where we're at. See if we have any malfunctions. What we think about the trigger. Obviously the grip. Everybody loves a grip. Yeah. And see if it holds up to a couple hundred rounds now today. So.
Cool. Yeah, first impressions for me, just holding it, dude, that thing is, it's ridiculous, guys. It is ridiculous.
Very nice. The texturing on that frame is,
no staple. It's aluminum. So that's another thing. So it helps with the weight. Because the X Macro comes with a polymer frame, just like most striker fires come today. So it adds a little bit of weight. You throw on a light, and it's already comped. Man, it shoots.
It's very flat shooting.
3-inch barrel.
Yeah.
It shoots nice.
I agree.
So
yeah, I guess first impressions for me, guys, it's a go. Like I said, I have a 320X carry, and I ended up switching over to the Wilson Combat. That thing is the bee's knees. So this being aluminum, having those nice gas pedals on there already built into that aluminum frame,
yeah.
guys, that thing is, those gas pedals, they make all the difference in the world.
So you'll see it here when you see it this way. These gas pedals are just insane.
they're
Very pronounced, and just the placement of it is just perfect. I got a sub Glock or a TLL7 sub for a Glock, but it's working for now. But I am getting a dedicated one for this frame itself. And yeah, we got the Sealy, and that's it. But
it's a go, man. It's a go.
We're gonna shoot it a bit and see where we're at that point.
First impressions for you, Tank, just holding it?
Oh,
So it's a go, huh?
I love it. When
Also, this holster is for the Glock 43X. It's my personal carry. It's not meant for this one, but it's fitting because of the light.
Light bearing.
It's a little sticky trying to get back in because it's not fit for those gas pedals, but it's working.
Oh, yeah, it works.
Back on what you were saying about with your Glock, you were actually able to prep the trigger before you shoot. With this one, the trigger's a little more sensitive.
Yeah, so on a Glock, if you know about Glocks and you're shooting Glocks, you can prep that trigger and get to that wall. I'm noticing that I'm not feeling a defined wall. So I'm prepping, and sometimes it goes off. Not an ND.
In a bad way.
But
Yeah.
it's just, I'm not used to it, and I would have to put 1,000 rounds. One, to see where the gun is at in terms of durability and
Reliability. Dependability, reliability.
Yeah, and I just gotta get used to that trigger if I'm gonna start carrying it.
Yeah.
But we're not there yet.
You gotta train the
Yeah, you gotta vet it.
to carry that.
Yeah.
Definitely. So
Yeah, and again, guys, we're gonna get into the shooting now, but we want to stress to you guys why training is so important. And again, Bear Dynamics on IG, get that training because you can buy a gun.
I also got my website going now too, so just look me up at beardynamics.com.
Absolutely, and again, you can get a gun. If you don't train with that gun, you're not gonna know where your wall is. You're not gonna know where your reset is. You're not gonna know where your holdovers are gonna be. Remember, every gun is different. There could be spot-on holdovers. There could be 12 o'clock holdovers. There could be 6 o'clock holdovers. You gotta get out and train with your equipment, guys. That is the most important part. I cannot stress that enough. And my man is here for that, so check him out. Again, we're gonna get this gun going. I'm giddy. Again, you guys know I'm a 1911, 2011 guy, but the Polymer Wonders, there are some that really get the blood flowing for me because they work that well. And again,
they fit a task.
Yes, they do.
The task of EDC and self-defense.
Yep.
They're
Also
small. They're able to carry, able to conceal easy.
Yeah.
It's not as easy to conceal as
It is not. No, it is not.
Also, the mags are 17 rounds.
Yes,
So
which is a big
carry
plus.
my 43X, the way I use the Shield 15 round mags, and you're getting 2 extra rounds with this. 3 if you carry one in the chamber, which you should be, but you have to train for that. You got to feel comfortable, but you're getting 2 extra rounds.
Yep.
So that's a big plus too.
Oh yeah.
And it's basically the same size as that 43X.
Yeah. All right, let's go. Let's do it. Let's get to shooting.
Basically for shots, never mind the belly.
Hey, remember, dad ball gang.
Yep. All right, so we're gonna be shooting at 350 yards, way farther than pew view. So we're gonna start now. I don't know how well that came out on camera, the flatness of it, I'm not sure. It's awesome. I mean,
does the dot ever leave the window?
yeah, it does. Okay. It does. I gotta shoot it a little bit more so I can get comfortable. But man, it shoots really, really nice.
Back
And there's a confidence that you get with this frame that you can't get with any kind of simple job on any Glock. Man, it shoots really, really good.
The undercut, the beaver tail.
Yeah, and it's still not broken in. We only put 4 mags through it, so it's not a lot of rounds. So, you know, once you get a couple thousand rounds, it's going to smooth out a little bit more. But man, it's the confidence is ridiculous.
It's very confident.
Yeah, yeah,
Follow-up shot.
yeah. I will put the brightness up just a bit for me. But man, yeah. All right.
It's a shooter, huh?
Yeah, man. I like it.
It is a shooter, man.
Oh, not lubed. Once I take my guns out of the box for the first time, I don't lube it on. I want it to fail, and I want to know where it's failing.
Good call.
mag, whether if it's something the gun has or anything, I want to know what it is. Then I'll take it home, clean it up, and then I'll shoot it again, and it should be better.
So dry. We're running completely
dry. No lube, no clean, nothing. I pull it right out of the box, put the frame on, and then that's it. So that's how we're shooting. In his house. When he's yelling at you guys.
All right, guys, so off camera, I just threw the mag in, and it sent one home on its own. Let's see how she does.
A chamber around.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's called slapping the slide forward.
You know, I promised my wife I wasn't going to buy this gun because she knows how much it costs.
But you might have to.
Well, for right now, I don't have to because I can shoot yours when I need to.
Yeah,
but this is something that I am very interested in shooting more and maybe eventually buying it. The follow-up shots are ridiculous. For me, right now, the dot didn't leave the window. I don't know if I'm gripping it different than you or maybe I'm gorilla gripping the shit out of the gun right now and it just feels good. It feels really good. I like it. Like I said, the follow-up shots are ridiculous.
It's insane.
The dot did not leave the window for me. I don't know. The cadence of my shots just kept faster and faster and faster. And I was, again, steel builds up a lot of confidence. Maybe I was a little bit high, maybe I was a little bit low. But the audible sound of the cadence of the shots was on the money.
Yeah, and later on we'll be shooting paper for accuracy. We're gonna be like testing accuracy. We're gonna be shooting at 10, 15, 20, 25, and then we'll see, you know.
Where she should break down?
Well, yeah, you know, and break down in terms of the accuracy of the gun and breakdown of our
abilities,
fundamentals as well.
Yeah. Feels really good.
Nice. Yeah, off camera just a second ago, I tried to load and make ready and mag didn't seat all the way and it failed to chamber around. Okay, so it could just be me. Different manual of arms. Again, I'm used to the SIGs, but this is a completely different frame as far as ergos and all that stuff. So we got to be diligent when it comes to our manual of arms. Okay, so it's gonna be my first impression, and let's see how she does. All right, so we got that slap forward, which I like, me personally. I know some of you guys out there are not gonna like that, but me personally, I dig it. So let's see what she's got.
Didn't miss a single one.
Sheesh, my God, dude, this thing is flat. I will concur. The dot never left the window for me. So that right there, as you can see, that's not a very big window. It is not a very big window at all. So guys, for this dot to not leave the window, that speaks volumes.
On a micro.
And this is considered the single stack micro 9s. Okay, I know that they're not considered micro 9s anymore because it's obviously a 17 round magazine. But yeah, it's still considered a micro 9. So guys, for a micro 9 to shoot that flat, you know, obviously the comped slide helps a little bit, not a lot.
But it's still a 3-inch barrel.
It's still a 3-inch barrel, guys. So, and we're at what, 10 yards? So, guys, this thing.
The barrel's not comped. It's
only the slide, right? Yeah. But I will tell you this, guys. This grip.
Confidence building, man.
It is definitely reassuring.
I was shooting before he did, and I still have the marks.
Yeah.
For the stippling, and I'm sure he does too. The aggressiveness of the texture on the stippling is amazing.
So now I will tell you this. Again, guys, smaller than normal hands. This thing fits really nice in my hands. How does it fit in your hands so far?
So I believe I have the biggest hands here, and for me, back up a little bit. For me, like it fits so well. Like it fits. It's perfect. You know, I don't have a finger off the grip or anything. Tank was experiencing a little bit of Glock knuckle, but not me. I don't have Glock knuckle with this, not yet anyways, but for me it just fits so good, and the stippling just, like I said, it's confidence building because it just sticks to your hand. It never leaves. Even if we're not sweaty yet, but once we do, I don't think it's going to be an issue with this aluminum frame. Man, I love it. And the gas pedals help. It's a reference point for your thumb. That's why I fell in love with it. It's really the grip itself. And man, I can't say anything bad about the grip so far. So we're going to keep shooting it. And I mean, what do you think? And again, I got extra large hands. I think I have the biggest out of everybody.
Yeah, you have the biggest out of everybody.
And
large.
I wear large or extra large mechanics gloves.
Yep. I wear a medium.
Wear extra large.
I wear extra large.
Yep. So guys, just to give you guys a reference, you know, just it's small, large, extra large, if you want to call it. So
yeah.
we're getting a sample size of 3. We got really big gargantuan gorilla hands. We got normally sized hands, and then we got smaller than average. You know, so and that speaks volumes to what Icarus has done with that frame. Yeah. That frame,
it's fitting all of us.
It's fitting all 3 of our sized hands exceptionally well.
I don't know if they survey like 1 million people hand sizes.
Correct.
And they just kind of form
one fits all
to that, but man.
Yeah. Let me tell you.
And then it also doesn't have stippling where you don't want it.
Yeah.
It has a nice beaver tail.
Yep.
So you're not gonna get slide bite or anything. It even has a hook. So like, you're not getting like I get bit every once in a while with my Glock. Every once in a while when I don't have a less than perfect grip on my gun, and you're definitely not gonna get that with this. So there's no issues there. Again, I don't have. All right, so we moved back to 460 yards.
View.
Just kidding.
Take that.
Yeah, right. That guy, man, Jesus.
Yeah. Hey.
He's got to shoot He's got to be able to shoot every day. He's got to be able to shoot every day. No, we just backed up to 15, and we're just gonna take it slow. We're gonna be focusing on the reset of the trigger, grip. We're gonna be focusing on accuracy, and then just see what the results are. So we're gonna load and make ready now. I'm gonna try a different grip. See what our results are. That one sucks. That's me. Huh. I'll go back to my normal grip. All right, so remember, this holster's not for this gun. Shooting a little high. I think it was me. The grip feels fine. It's still getting used to the gun, still getting used to that trigger pull. Like I said, it's a little lighter. I'm used to having to push a little harder on a Glock trigger or pull a little bit harder on a Glock trigger. Maybe it's just me throwing off the shots. This is the first time running this kind of gun with that kind of trigger. I could get my 43X and just drill them. But yeah, shooting a little high, and obviously, because we moved back a little bit, not where I want to be at yet. So I still need more trigger time behind this gun. Yep. We'll see what Tank and Jazz has to say now that we move back a little bit, and see if there's any difference. Maybe it's just me today. I know today for sure I have the jitters. I drank like 2 energy drinks, so I'm like wiry, and I'm seeing it on the dot, going all crazy. I don't want to blame the dot just yet. So we'll see what these guys do, and then we'll go from there.
All right, guys. So we're gonna try to reciprocate what Henry's trying to achieve. We're gonna go 15 yards. We're gonna go slow and steady. We're gonna practice good fundamentals, trigger. We're gonna check that trigger, make sure the trigger's good. See where the brake is. See how much mush is in there, and we're gonna go slow and steady. We're gonna go try and go for accuracy on this one. See how accurate that Sig slide and barrel are. So
How many yards are you at?
I'm at 150. Again, like we did last time with the camera. I'm at 150. You were at 300. So PewView, eat your heart out. Now, big shout out to PewView. All right, let's go.
That guy fucks.
Yes, he does. So that's I would want that to be a little bit better, but considering that we're at 15 yards, I'm okay with that. Here's what I will say. I like the trigger. I like the fact that there's no inside safety or anything like that. It's just a flat trigger, run and gun. What keeps me 100% into the gun, and this is the best way that I can describe this frame. If any of you guys out there are car guys, this is the Spearco or the bride seat for your vehicle for guns. This fits the hand so well that it becomes second nature. You're so comfortable in this, and it's so confidence inspiring, just like in a car where factory seats, you got a lot of body roll, you got a lot of stuff going on. Bride seats, Spearco seats, they hug you, keep you planted. That's what this frame does. It keeps you planted. It keeps the gun very flat shooting. And for me, I think that is, again, so confidence inspiring that this gun feels like you're driving a Ferrari when you're really driving I don't know, maybe a Maserati or something like that. Again, I like the trigger.
It's German, so German car.
Yeah, so this is Das Auto right here, man. This is, I think Sig knocked it out of the park with their slide comp. Again, this is not a barrel comp, it's just a slide comp, but it's doing its job. It's doing its job. It's keeping the gun nice and flat shooting. It's keeping recoil to a minimum. You don't have to fight the gun. It's just a pleasure to shoot. I like the trigger. The frame, we've already talked about it to death. This frame, if you have a 365, if you don't have one of these, you're missing out. You're really missing out. So again, I'm not 100% sold on this dot. I mean, yeah, it'll a range toy or a plinking toy, it's great, but this we need to, as soon as you get whatever you're gonna put on, I don't know if you're gonna put an APS on it or
Probably, yeah.
So as soon as we get that, we need to throw it on there quick because I don't like the dot. Not that it's a bad dot, but
I don't like that the squirt.
Yeah. But other than that, guys, Sig, I think Sig knocked it out of the park with this. You get really good sights with this gun. The night sights are decent for what you're paying for the gun. The sights are nice. You get a tritium, not tritium, but you get a night sight in the front with a green outline, and you get.
Now, obviously, these extra sights just come with the
dot.
With the dot, so it's
It's not, but overall, man, this thing. Let me tell you, for me, I know that you're not a Sig guy. I know you're a Glock guy.
I'm warming up.
I've been a believer. This is one of the few companies, and I get that Sig is expensive, but apart from their quality issues with the rust in the magazines, when it comes to reliability and when it comes to functionality, you get what you pay for when you buy a Sig, just like when you buy an H&K. They're worth what you're paying for them, just in the sense that it's there. They work. They're a pleasure to shoot. They're functional. And here's another thing that I will say, guys, that I forgot to mention. Notice how on this gun, the mag release is still on the left side. This is obviously Henry's gun, so it's not on the side that I usually put it on. And this frame is good enough to where I don't mind breaking my grip just a hair, but it's there. So it's
you could reach it.
I can reach it, and I have small hands. So I mean, I do have to break the grip, but it's so minimal that it's there. This frame, if I had to, I would leave the mag release on this side and it would still work for me.
I don't even have to break my grip.
Correct.
To hit that mag.
So
mag release.
Again, Icarus.
But I got extra long.
Icarus is wow. Like that's all I have to say. Wow, just wow.
All right. See what she does.
Yeah.
I think I did a little better than he did. I think he's right about the energy drinks giving him the jitters.
Yeah, I think so too.
I noticed watching him shoot, the muzzle of his gun was.
He was washing machine a lot.
Yeah. I'm exaggerating a little bit, but he was kind of shaking a little bit.
Yeah. Maybe next time he needs to cool it to one energy drink instead of two.
Maybe an hour or two before he even starts shooting. But I like the way it shoots. A couple of my shots went a little low and to the left. That's probably, my fault, of course. Squeezing the trigger, pulling the trigger, when you don't have good trigger etiquette, you get low and to the left. I got like 2 or 3 shots like that. Probably the ones that I was trying to shoot a little faster than I should have been. Should have been going slower, breathing better to actually check the accuracy of the gun, but it shoots so well, I want to throw rounds down range.
I want to sling lead down range, man. It's a pleasure to shoot.
But all on target, couple deltas, but so far so good. I really like it. I can't get over the texturing on this.
Yeah.
The grip is just.
It's perfect.
The frame is perfect.
Yeah.
I wonder if somebody makes a frame like this for
and
for a Glock.
With you, I wanted that style frame for the 320, and even the one for the 320, it doesn't
have this undercut here.
The texturing doesn't go all the way up.
No, it's smooth all the way to here.
It's smooth all the way to the top. So even the one for the 320, I mean, if Icarus made a frame like that for the 320, oh, dude, I'll buy 20 of them.
Well, they can't.
Don't say that because the ATF is going to be hounding me.
They can't make one for the Glock because it's not serialized.
Yeah, obviously.
But if somebody were to make something as
good as that,
as aggressive and as good as this for a Glock,
I agree.
That would be.
I agree.
The bee's knees.
Yes, it would.
All right.
All right, guys. So we had a little
lack of confidence
off camera. Henry shot a group at 15 yards. He didn't like the grouping. I shot a group at 15 yards. Didn't like the grouping. Mine was a little bit tighter than his, but it was nowhere near what the group should be at 15 yards. We're not saying that this is a sharpshooter. This is not a DMR or anything like that, but if you practice the fundamentals of shooting, trigger discipline, breathing, trigger control, grip, all the fundamentals, you should be able to stack rounds at 15 yards. Okay.
So what we were seeing is that it wasn't consistent. All right, and we already know our shooting. We know what we're capable of, and I know I can stack rounds at an inch at 15 yards. I've done it before. He's done it before for sure, 100%. And especially with this grip, should be a lot tighter.
Yep.
Off camera, we were doing some shooting. We were trying to sight in the dot making. We were reconfirming, and it's all over the place. We were not prone, but kneel and bench.
Yeah, we're resting.
Bench rested, yeah.
At 10 yards. At 10 yards. And it was all over the fucking place.
No.
So we took it off, and we shot a couple rounds with irons, and it was day and night difference.
Yep.
All right.
So at this point, I'll take irons over dots. And again, guys, this is why
test your gear.
You want to test your gear, number one. Number two, you want to practice on your fundamentals, because if you rely on that dot 100% of the time, if something goes wrong with that optic and you got to resort to irons, if you are not well versed on running a pistol like this with irons, you are in a heap of trouble. Okay, guys, and God forbid,
defensive situation.
God forbid, if you're ever in a defensive situations, remember, guys, any bullet that leaves this handgun, you're responsible for. So you got to make sure what your target is and what's beyond it.
Every bullet comes with a lawyer.
Every bullet counts.
All right?
Okay.
So not to shit on Sealy, but man, I don't know. I think it's probably better off for like a little 22 pistol or
Correct.
22 rifle or something. It's not liking 9mm recoil because it wasn't consistent. So we took it off and we were shooting perfectly fine, stacking rounds at 10 yards with irons.
Yep.
All day, which is what we can do.
Yeah.
It's, you know, it's nothing. It's not too like. It's not a flex or nothing. It's just we know what we're capable of, and with the dot, it was very inconsistent.
Yep.
So we took it off and we were shooting irons perfectly fine.
Yeah.
So.
And that was even resting on the
Yeah.
Yeah, we were standing at 10 yards shooting with irons, and we were stacking them. So,
So if you guys ever buy, and I will say this because not a lot of
you
people.
gotta test your equipment.
Yeah. So if you're ever gonna buy an optic for one of your pistols, make sure that you can at least get some remnants of your irons through the optic window. Okay.
Either cold witnessing or
Either co-witness or whatever. And I'm going to tell you why, because not only if this optic goes down, you got to rely on your irons, okay? But the biggest benefit of buying an optic that you can co-witness with your irons is one day you can run the dot, and let's say a week later you want to practice irons. All you got to do is leave that dot off, and if you have enough room in that window where you can see your irons, you can practice your iron shooting, which, guys, it is a plus. I know that technology is headed towards red dots and all that stuff, but you want to keep your fundamentals true. You want to be able to shoot with irons. God forbid anything happens to that optic, you need some backup.
There's a great example right here.
And this is a great example. So
That's why it looks funky right now. So I don't have to play with me because I had the dot.
biggest take from this, don't skimp on the optic. Don't
train-
skimp on an
training.
optic, and train.
Yeah.
Train accordingly, guys. Train with irons, train with dots. Train strong hand, train weak hand.
I say get proficient with irons, and then like get into dots. Now I recommend people that have never shot guns and all that stuff to get straight into red dots because
Right.
it is the future and it is way easier to shoot. But you need the fundamentals to be able to shoot irons.
Yeah.
'Cause it's only going to make you better when you get a red dot.
Yep.
So there is a learning curve when you put a red dot on. You know, picking up that dot consistently. But if you have that the same consistency with irons,
You'll have it with the red
when
dot.
you get the red dot, it's going to be a little bit better.
Yep.
So train both ways. You
Yeah,
have to.
absolutely. I agree. All right, guys. So we're gonna do our usual. We're gonna do a mag dump. See how flat the gun can stay while we're pushing it to the pace. And again, it's gonna look a little funky now because we're gonna be running irons, which I'll take irons over that
Any day.
any day. All right, guys. So let's run it.
Range is hot.
Range is hot. Eyes and ears. So I will say this. Another thing that I have noticed, the mags go in nice and smooth, but if the mag goes in at any remnants of any other angle other than straight in, the metal on metal,
There's gonna be a lot more friction.
there's gonna be a lot more friction.
See the rub marks on the
Exactly. All right. So if it's not perfectly straight when you're seating that magazine,
Yeah.
what just happened to me is what's gonna happen to
Wait,
it.
what was the flick of the wrist? What was that?
That's another thing to think about when you're gonna have that gun as your EDC.
Correct.
It's corrosion
Corrosion.
because of your sweat.
Remember, guys, we're in Florida, so sweat here. Look at the sky. The sky, there's sun is not even out, and it's
It's
still
100% humidity.
And we're all sweating.
and we're all sweating, guys. So it's not,
That's all sweat.
it's all sweat. So keep that in mind if you're gonna carry this with this frame.
It's aluminum. There should be less corrosion, but still.
All right, mag dump. I don't like it.
You don't like what? What is it that you don't like?
Trigger. It seems like the trigger.
Why is that?
I'm outrunning the trigger.
Okay, so you're getting...
Trigger freeze. Trigger
but-
freeze.
But not due to you.
Correct.
Due to
The trigger.
how slow the trigger is.
Correct. I can't get this trigger to run fast.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, this is, and again, if this is an EDC gun, you also don't want to be mag dumping like that because, again, what we just went over, every round has a lawyer behind it, okay? You got to look at your target and what's beyond
You
it.
got to be super confident if you're going to be...
If you're going to be doing mag dumps like that, that target better be within 3 yards or nothing at all. All right? So, yeah, I didn't like it. And I'll be honest with you, my 320 doesn't do that.
Really?
Yeah, no. I can shoot my 320
Maybe
Faster.
because it's not broken yet.
faster. It could be that it's not broken in, right?
And it's
Again,
not lubed, it's not clean.
maybe it's just me.
I'm going to shoot
Maybe
it
it's
now.
just me.
I tend to shoot... I tend to shoot, pretty quickly. I don't have any issues shooting my Glock. I shoot it really, really fast. And... Sorry. Do a mic check thing. Oh, I don't even have a hat. What am I doing? Shoot fast. Obviously, when I shoot super fast, it's usually within 10 yards and in. And I'm gonna see how it goes. Somebody give me a mag, please. All right, so I'm gonna run it now as fast as I can to see where we're at on the trigger. See if I get the same results as Jazz, and then we'll see. Again, in chamber 1, just with the force of the mag load, and it's starting to rain now. So let's see. No, yeah, it's super slow.
Yeah,
I could shoot my Glock way faster than that. So again, maybe it needs to be broken in. Maybe it'll smooth out. But I think it's just that long travel. You see how far forward it is?
Yeah.
Like on the Glock, it's not as, and when we're coming off the trigger, we're not coming completely off. We're coming to the reset. Also, another learning curve that you have to acquire when you shoot another gun. On my Glock, I know it, in and out. And maybe we'll get some footage of me shooting my Glock at this range and see how fast it is. Yeah. But you're supposed to be, once that shot breaks, you should be already resetting. Microseconds, but you should be on the wall again.
Yeah, you shouldn't. Okay? You shouldn't wait for that firearm to settle for you to come.
Yeah, and I think that's what it is. That's how far that trigger has to, But let's see. Let's finish the rounds here in the mag.
I feel like you and I can outrun that trigger.
Oh yeah, definitely. So should be coming up to here when you're mag dumping or anything. It doesn't seem like a lot.
It doesn't, but it doesn't translate.
Yeah.
Way less trouble.
Yeah, it doesn't translate.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm outrunning it.
Yeah.
Froze on me 3 times already.
So you're seeing the same thing?
It happened to me 3 times.
Yeah.
And I'm not nowhere near as fast shooting as you guys are.
Yeah.
And I'm outrunning the trigger. But again, EDC gun, do you mag dump it?
Do you want that?
Or do you want something that's more accurate, that you're placing the shots where you want them to be?
Yeah, I agree.
That's up to each individual person.
Yeah, that's a personal preference.
It's nice to mag dump. It's nice to shoot a bunch of lead down range. It's fun. Everybody likes doing it. That's what has a bunch of views on YouTube videos, is mag dumping. Yeah. But with this gun, I'm not fast or as fast as these guys are, and I'm outrunning the trigger on it. Is it a deal breaker for me? No, because if I could place shots where and when I want to place the shots, then that's all I need. I don't need it to shoot like a fully automatic gun. But I do.
Yeah, take with that, YouTube guys. Take that and do with it what you may.
Yeah, we've seen other guys do reviews on this gun already.
Yeah,
and they never really, that I could remember, never really talked about out shooting it.
Yeah.
So again, maybe it is that it's dry, not been cleaned, not been lubed.
Yeah. Again,
the next time we bring it out, after he gets it home and cleans it and goes through it, it'll be nice and lubed up, and see if it runs any better.
Few of you get that gun and see what you can do with it.
Yeah, for real.
And he did it on the Flux Raider.
Oh, that's right, he did.
And he shot the crap out of it.
Yeah. That guy's an animal, though.
Yeah.
So I mean,
he did it with the Flux Raider, which is this slide on a different frame.
Yeah.
Same fire control group. So again, maybe it's this particular gun that it's dirty, that it's not been lubed, hasn't been taken apart and cleaned.
Yeah. No lube at all.
You bought it, you took it home, you swapped out the frame, and that was it.
No
That's what I do with all my guns.
All right, there you go.
I want to see what
and just to be on, I told him he should have taken it apart and cleaned it, but
no.
He's a Glock guy.
So did I. But
this isn't a Glock.
As you can see, guys, it's completely dry. It's completely uncleaned, and it hasn't hiccuped once.
No,
not once. No. We haven't had any failures to eject.
It's been running.
Failure to go into battery. No, nothing. The gun is running 100%.
It's been running. It's been running great. Other than out running the trigger.
Yeah.
That's the only thing and the dot.
So yeah,
But yeah, man,
take what you want.
This is great. This is great. Sorry, I might pull a stunt and buy one of these for me, or I'll just keep shooting his.
All right, guys. So against his better judgment, Tank and I convinced Henry to at least lube this thing up. We didn't clean it. It's still dirty as shit. All right, it's still dirty as shit. We just lubed it. All right. So just a lot smoother already. So
Got a mic?
yeah, I got a mic. Let's see if it was just dry and tired and sluggish. I'm praying I can no longer outrun this trigger, so let's see if that's the case.
Seemed a lot faster.
Much better. Much better.
A little lube goes a long way.
Yes, it does, guys. A little lube goes a long way.
I like it dry.
A little lube goes a very long way.
Mic check.
Mic check. Mic check.
So I'm a practical kind of guy. I want to see it fail before I, start carrying it, before I see where the hiccup is on the stuff. Yeah, we lubed it, still dirty. And we're going to just mag dump, see if it got any faster. It seemed faster with Jazz. And then I'm going to run it now and see where we're at. Slow down there a little bit. Let me get the last one round, I think it is. 1, 2, 3. Yep.
Much better.
Yeah, seems faster. It's all oily now, but that's okay.
Much better though.
Maybe that's what it needed.
Yep. It'll keep that aluminum from corroded.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Now that it's lubed up, let's see if I can outrun the trigger like I did before. I doubt it, but let's see.
Much better.
I wasn't able to outrun it. Like I said before, a little lube goes a long way. This thing was dry when we took the slide off. There was a lot of dirt and a lot of dryness going on.
What's that on your finger? A little discharge?
A little Earl.
Little discharge?
A little bit of discharge there. A little bit of oil. Don't hurt nobody.
But that just goes to show you a little bit of oil like this, it goes a long way.
Hey, that ran. It ran flawlessly when it was dry. And it's running even better
Obvious.
now that it's lubed up.
Yeah, so in hindsight, in conclusion, it runs good. We did not have a single issue.
No failure to feed.
Either mag related or gun related. We didn't have an issue at all. Let's take this off because it's hot.
Yeah.
And so far it's showing its dependability so far. Obviously, now that we lubed it up, all guns are going to run better lubed up. And yeah, I mean, I'm liking it so far.
About 250 rounds through it
Yeah,
today.
so that was the other thing. We're trying to keep track of round count. It's kind of hard. You know how it is. But we were just calculating 17 rounds each mag. We did 12 mags,
13
maybe.
rounds.
Yeah.
14 with the two that.
So we're
Maybe even 15 because we're doing it in threes.
yeah. So we're right
Plus
around
a
250.
few off camera.
And then when we get up to 1,000, we'll come back and reevaluate the gun, see if we have any issues. But I like it so far.
Yeah, it's a go for me, man. If you guys are on the fence about it, it's definitely a lean towards the go for me.
Yeah.
And like I said, I'm not a big polymer wonder guy, but
It's not polymer anymore.
No, I know, but I'm saying
It's still a striker fire.
they have to understand that when they first buy that gun, they are getting a polymer frame.
Yeah.
The Icarus frame is apart from when you're getting the Sig.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind.
It's
Here's
another
another-
$400.
Here's another thing. Yeah. Here's another thing to keep in mind. It's also another $400. You can buy 2 daggers basically with that. You could get a whole other gun, a Glock, more or less. So it is expensive. The macro itself by itself is right around $850, depending on where you get it. I got mine at Bass Pro, and it was like $820 or something like that.
$819.99.
Yeah. So it's gonna be $1,300 out the door when you get the frame.
And the mags are anywhere from $45 to $55 each. They're not
$12 P mags.
They're not $12 P mags.
Yeah, they're a little bit more expensive. So it's a. I'm cheap. That's why I like Glock. They're cheap and they run.
I'm used to it. I'm a 1911 guy. So
yeah, no, I don't want to spend $50 on a mag, even though I did for this gun.
Yeah,
but
you have 4.
You got 4. That's plenty for an EDC gun. Yeah, for my Glock I got 50 plus mags. You know, but you can buy them at $10 a pop sometimes.
Yeah, when they're on sale, you get them for like
sale.
10, 11 bucks
for
each.
the P mags and stuff. If you get the OEM ones, or sometimes you find them for $12, $15. So
yeah, overall it's a win for me, man.
Yeah.
It's a win for me. Again, I appreciate the Striker Fire world, and that's been nothing but a pleasure.
I like the fact that there's no safety.
Yeah.
So that's a plus for me.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure to shoot.
If you train, it's the most important thing. Training, getting to know your firearm, training with it, and so you could get the feel for it. That's why I could shoot my Glock 43X better in every condition.
Remember, guys, these are
distance,
tools. These are tools.
Yeah,
you got to learn to use your tools.
Yeah.
All right. So just think about it that way.
And not always the most expensive gun is gonna
not the most
translate
expensive tool.
Translate to be the best for the job.
Yeah.
You know, this is a $1,300 gun. It's great. It shoots flat. Yeah. It shoots great. I really like. But again, I'm gonna say what I think makes this gun as phenomenal as it is a frame. The added weight, the texturing, the undercut, the beaver tail, the ergos of this frame is
slaps.
It slaps.
It's amazing.
Like
it's amazing.
Say. Yeah, it slaps. It's literally lit. It's a vibe.
It's a vibe.
Yep. Yeah, guys, that's gonna do it for today's video. That's first impressions on the Sig P365 X Macro comped with the Icarus Ace frame.
Regular. There's an Evo and there's an XL, so it's just a regular Ace.
Yeah. So we're gonna do as usual. We're gonna come back to you guys when it's vetted, minimum 1,000 rounds. And until then, guys, like, comment, subscribe. Please share the video. Ring that notification bell so that you guys hit that notification bell so that you guys know when a new video comes out. And again, thanks for watching. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your honesty. Let us know if you guys want to see anything different in the comments. And yeah, that's it.
Come see me at beardynamics.com. Also, my IG is beardynamics or bear_dynamics. Follow me, subscribe as well. Check out my webpage and get training or get got.
Yep. Stay strapped or get clapped.